Okay, so I have a timer set for 20 minutes, and for those 20 minutes I'm going to just talk, but it might go longer than that. So, hey guys, today I'm going to be doing the strip down challenge. I did this challenge when it was a thing 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, and today I'm doing it again, because why not? I just watched my first ever strip down challenge video that I made 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. And in that video, I actually made it a few days before I met Rena for the first time, and that was a big topic in that video, let me just say. So anyways, you all are watching this. I'm going to be posting this video next decade. I'm filming this a few weeks prior to that, but I am purposefully going to post this video next decade. So that's when you all are watching this. Well, for you it'll be this decade, because that'll be the now when you're watching, but you know what I mean. And today I'm gonna be talking about that. So in my other strip down challenge video, I also mentioned, towards the end of that video, I also mentioned how a lot of people who do the strip down challenge start off by talking about the challenge itself, and how crazy it is that it leads to other topics. And depending on the person, it leads to, like, for different people, it leads to completely different topics. For one person, it might lead to one topic, like that same topic of the challenge itself, and for another person, it might lead to a completely different topic that relates to them. And it all starts on the same topic of the challenge itself, and I think that's so crazy. And I was watching that video, and it blows my mind how it just seamlessly, like throughout the video, I started talking about the strip down challenge itself, and then it just seamlessly led to other topics. That's crazy. So, anyways, a big topic for this strip down challenge is going to be the concept of how much can change in one decade, because that is pretty topical at the moment. So, currently I'm filming this at the end of this decade, and it's crazy to think about, because I feel like this decade was the time that it was like the one decade that I spent doing the most maturing. Like, I feel like this next decade I'm not going to mature as much because I'm already going to be like an adult, you know? This decade started, so when this decade started, I had just turned 8 years old. And when it finished, I will have already turned 18 years old. I'm not 18 years old yet when I'm filming this, but I will be by the time I post this. Anyways, and that period of time, basically during that period of time, you do a lot of growing, you know? From 8 years old to 18, you do a lot of growing and maturing, because that's like the age range that you do a lot of growing. And it's crazy how so many things change. Like, literally last decade, I was born. Early in the decade, but still, I was born last decade. So, it's crazy how things change. And now we're nearing the end of the decade, but for you, for you watching, we're starting a new decade. But anyways, for me filming this, we are coming to the end of the decade, and that's, honestly, I'm shook thinking about that. Like, I'm actually shook. So many things have changed. I literally started violin lessons this decade. I can't say the same about piano, because I've been playing piano for 10 years. So I started piano lessons last decade, but this decade I started violin lessons. I've been playing violin now for 7 years, almost 7.5 years. And it's crazy, because when I started violin, I literally started learning Twinkle Twinkle Little Star variations, you know, the piece that every single beginner violinist plays. And now I'm playing Bach. I'm playing Bach, Paganini, and Lalo, to name a few repertoire pieces that I'm working on currently. And I'm doing auditions for conservatories in like a month or 2 months, depending on the school that I'm auditioning, because I have different auditions on different days. And honestly, it's so crazy. Like, I know I keep saying that, but it's true. It's so crazy. Like, where did the time go? Honestly, I'm shook. Where did the time go? And it's crazy. I know I'm saying that so much, but it's true. Also, I've been also saying a lot, like especially like when the semester is, like as the semester is coming to an end, I'm saying a lot like how it's gonna be like the last school day of the decade, which like is crazy to think about. Actually, I just had my last full school day of the decade. I'm about to go into finals week, which we have half days when we have finals. So that means release at 1:10, which honestly is so nice. That's like the one part about finals week that I always look forward to. But we just had like our last normal day, like normal school day of the decade, which is, I'm shooketh thinking about that, first of all. And that's crazy. Usually I get out of school at 4:30, and getting out of school at that time feels so normal that I'm shook to think about that. I'm shook thinking about how I literally just had the last time this whole decade that I'll get out of school at 4:30. Like, that's crazy. I know, I guess it's like also the semester, but like the last time of the semester, but like it's crazier to think that it's the last time of the decade than the fact that it's the last time of the semester or even the school year, even though it's not the end of the school year yet. But yeah, you get my point. So yeah. Also, with saying goodbye to this decade, I'm also saying goodbye to my childhood, even though I'm technically not really a child because I'm not like a little kid, but you know, legal childhood. Like, we're getting on technicalities here because I'm about to become a legal adult, which I can't believe. I can't believe how I'm literally gonna be 18 years old in like a couple weeks. But as you're watching this, I'm already going to be 18 years old, so first of all, that's crazy to think about. Like how I'm gonna be an adult by the time I post this video, because that's how close adulthood is to me. Like, I feel like it's so close that I can feel its warm breath on my neck. But it's true. And it's crazy. And I can't believe I'm saying that a lot. Like, it's crazy, but things are crazy. I'm at a crazy time in my life. I know. And this coming year, well, next year, but for you, it's going to be this year, because again, I'm posting this later on, is going to be a special year for me. Like, very eventful. Not only do I have so many auditions coming up, which are very eventful, but also I have my graduation coming up in a few months, which I can't believe, once again. Like, literally, I can't believe. And I'm moving out of the house, like, very soon. Like, how is that possible? Where did all the time go? You know, parents are always talking about how fast their kids are growing up, and like when I was a kid, I would always wonder why that would be the first thing parents always talk about. Like, every time we would like get together with like another family or something, like a family friend or something, and the parents would be catching up, like all I would hear them talking about was how fast the kids are growing up. And back then it was just like every time I hear that, like I would roll my eyes. Not really, but like, you know, it was kind of like an eye roll topic. Like, here we go again, parents talking about how their kids are growing up. And I would never understand why that was the first thing they would always talk about. But now, I think now as I'm maturing I think I understand that, because even I can't believe myself. Like, okay, if you ask my mom, like, if you ask my mom how it's possible that I'm already becoming an adult, like, she's gonna be shooketh. Like, for her, it, like, feels like yesterday that I was born. And of course, I don't remember being born myself. But, like, now as I'm maturing, I'm starting to realize why parents are always talking about how fast their kids are growing up. Because even I myself can't believe that I'm going to be an adult soon. I mean, like, ask my mom. Like, she's even more, like, in denial that, like, where did the time go? But, like, it's, like, you know how real it is. You know how surprised the parents would be that I'm already becoming an adult. Like, you know how surprised they would be if even I'm surprised. Like, that says something. So, that's crazy. And, like, I don't even feel like an 18-year-old yet, or even an almost 18-year-old yet. Like, where did the time go? I still feel like a 12-year-old sometimes, but, like, it's true. Everyone says that, but it's true. And also, I've been doing YouTube for 6 years now. I was 11 and a half years old when I posted my first video on this channel. And I feel like I've been doing YouTube for as long as I can remember. Like, I grew up on this platform almost. So maybe that's another reason why, because I still feel 11 or 12 years old sometimes, but, like, it's true. Like, I don't know. I don't know where the time went. Where did the time go? Like, honestly, where did the time go? I am shooketh. Shooketh, shooketh, shooketh. That's a tongue twister. Say shooketh 5 times really fast, because it's a tongue twister. But I feel like at the same time, it's like, it's just hard to believe. Like, I'm rambling in this video. I mean, that's kind of the point of the strip down challenge, but I am rambling a whole bunch in this video. And it's true. Like, things are crazy at this time in my life. Things are so crazy. Yeah. So, but I'm really excited to turn 18, even though, like, I still feel like a kid sometimes. But, I mean, I'm kind of excited because, like, it'll be a new chapter in my life, I guess. But, like, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this whole becoming an adult thing. Like, I don't know what to think about it. Like, it's crazy. But I mean, I'm kind of excited to, like, feel like an adult sometimes. I mean, I kind of already do feel like an adult sometimes, because I'm trying to become more independent as I transition into adulthood. And, for example, last week, I woke up one morning and my mom called me and asked me if I wanted to drive by myself over to HEB and pick up some donuts for the family. Because just to give me a chance to drive by myself, because I just became a licensed driver less than 2 months ago, and I haven't really had that many chances to drive by myself. My first time driving by myself, I got into a fender bender, which didn't end up being my fault. If you want a story time on that sometime, that's a story for a different video, or maybe I'll go into that later in this video, because this is the strip down challenge. But I got into a fender bender, which didn't end up being my fault, but still, the fact that I got into a fender bender caused me to not drive by myself for a couple weeks after that. Well, last week, I drove by myself to HEB to go pick up some donuts, and that time I didn't get into a fender bender, which was good. And I felt like an adult doing that, but, like, in a good way, not, like, in a way that but I felt like an adult, like, in a good way, if you know what I mean. Like, I felt like, yes, I'm an adult, I'm becoming independent, and it feels free. It feels freeing in a way. Mainly because as a kid, obviously, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I think that maturing is exciting in a way. It's also sometimes not exciting. Like, I know that as an adult, I'm gonna have to, like, pay my taxes and pay bills and stuff and, like, do not exciting stuff, but that still has to get done. But sometimes there is an exciting part of adulthood because I guess the fact that I'm able to do all these responsibilities and be independent and stuff, I guess is exciting in a way. I guess because I don't have to, like, rely on my parents for everything. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, I guess being able to drive by myself is exciting. Yeah. Also, another thing about driving. I'm gonna get into driving now. I started practicing driving a year ago. I got my license 2 months ago. Well, less than that, but by the time you're watching this, it'll be more than 2 months ago. And after this past year of driving, I feel like I've been able to understand driving jargon a lot more. Like, before I started driving, like, I would always hear adults talking about, like, ranting about driving or, like, being in traffic. Well, I guess when, like, how people hate being in traffic, that's, like, the only thing I always understood because, like, I would be in the car sometimes, even if I wasn't, like, the one driving. Like, I would be in the car and we'd be stuck in traffic and I would just want to get home or wherever I was going. But anyways, like, I guess when I hear people talking about driving, like, I understand. Like, for example, now I understand why people hate taking left turns. I used to not understand that. Like, what would be the difference between the two turns? Like, why did people hate left turns specifically? But now I understand. And I think that I have enough experience of driving to be able to make a video of some of my driving pet peeves. So comment down below if you guys want to see a video of my driving pet peeves, because I have a few of them. I think I'm about ready to make a video talking about my driving pet peeves. I've come across some pet peeves. So comment down below if you would like me to make a video of my driving pet peeves. But, I don't know, I'm just at a really crazy, confusing time in my life. It is exciting, but also kind of scary. Like, I've lived in this house for so long, and I'm gonna move out in less than a year. That's crazy. By the way, I've lived in this house for 13 years of my life. I was 4 years old when I moved into this house. And I have some memories of the old house, but very vague memories because I was really young back then. So we've lived in this house for 13 years, and also that's when this house was built. So, little fun fact. So, yeah, but I've lived in this house for so long, and I'm gonna move out of it in less than a year, and that's crazy to think about. I've said the word crazy a lot in this video, I know, but, like, and this bedroom, like, I've had the same bedroom for as long as I've lived in this house. I mean, it's changed a lot. Like, I've given my room makeovers in the last 13 years, but, like, the same room, like, the same location of the house has been my room for 13 years. And I'm about to move out of it in a matter of months. And I am shooketh. Absolutely shooketh. So that's crazy. So, and again, like, this, I'm gonna check how much time we have. Okay, we have 30 seconds left. But again, it's crazy how this decade is about to end. Like, what? Like, it's true. Like, I don't know. This might go on to be longer than 20 minutes, but, yeah. Because we have 30 seconds left. Well, less than that. Okay, it's about to go off. Okay, and it went off. So yeah, I'm gonna keep talking for a few more minutes because, yeah, why not? So and this will probably be the last topic, but, another thing I want to talk about that kind of just came to my mind is my barf streak. I haven't talked about that in so long, but it's true. I haven't lost my barf streak in a year and a half. So that's crazy, and I feel like we're gonna make it to the next decade. I'm gonna put in the description box below whether or not I made it, because, well, actually I might schedule this video, so I won't know yet, but I feel like we're gonna make it to the end of the decade. Comment down below if you think we made it. I'll put like a pinned comment or something of an update, but, so yeah. So I feel like we'll make it to the end of this year. I haven't barfed all year, which is an accomplishment. And I think we'll make it to the end of this year and this decade. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. And that's what I wanted to say. So anyways, that is pretty much it. I don't know what else to talk about. I guess we'll just recap. So we talked about, where do I even start? Okay, so we talked about how this decade is coming to an end and how you're watching this in the new decade, so yay for that. I don't know. We talked about so much in this video. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I don't want to make this video too long, but because we already talked for like 20 minutes, actually more than that now. So anyways, that is pretty much it. I think I'm going to end this video here. So that is pretty much it, and I will see you guys, the subscribers and viewers, in my next video. Peace out, y'all. Woo!